Hey guys, this is Nick from forexnoobs.com with some price action analysis. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd of February 2016, and the time is 14:27 here in the UK. You're looking at a GBP USD daily chart, and in today's analysis, I'm going to be going through each and every time frame for each and every pair here on my list, like I do every time I do analysis. Now, the reason I do this, I go through every single pair here and every single time frame up here. Reason I do this is because it allows me, if I do this several times per day, which I do, it allows me to see pretty much every candle forming throughout a day, which means I rarely, if ever, miss any actual trade setups that I want to trade. I'll be going through, like I said, every time frame, but something to note is that a lot of these time frames up here that you see, so like the 5 hour, the 7 hour, the 9, the 11, also the 10, those are time frames I do not trade. I only trade the 3 hour, 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, and daily. The reasons I have the 5, 9, 10, and 11 hour time frames is because it splits candles up into different sizes, different blocks. And that allows me to better understand what price is doing in a certain area. So these time frames here, they're purely there for me to better read price action. They're not there for trading. So anyway, let's get started with today's analysis. So GBP USD, what's going on with GBP USD? We're going to start with the daily and work our way down. Yesterday's analysis, I mentioned that we were possibly, maybe going to see a continuation because price had pushed above here and was bouncing away from this level, it looked like. Looks like that happened. It looks like we did get a continuation. Not that I'm saying it was a prophetic declaration or anything. I mean, it was quite obvious. Price was testing a support area and it looked like it was struggling. So it looked like buyers might take control, and they did. I didn't take the trade because I don't really trade continuations at the moment. So yeah, it looks like price is moving up. Obviously it is moving up. Buyers are in control of price. What is interesting to me about what is happening right now is that price is heading towards, this one. This is a pretty good support area. I mean, we had a wick bounce here and then we had a nice strong bounce here. So this area here, April 2015, caused a strong bounce. Let's see if it has any other. 2010. Back in 2010 also had a pretty strong bounce around about here. So it looks like a pretty decent area of support resistance. And I'm hoping that as price approaches this area, it's going to act as resistance. So as price approaches here, which it looks like it's going to approach very soon, I'm hoping that this area acts as resistance. I'm hoping we get some form of indecision here, which would lead to a reversal trade that I would be interested in trading. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this. I'm going to keep a close eye on the 146.20 level for GBP USD. We're going to see what happens if and when price approaches this area. Okay, let's check out. Actually, no, we haven't looked at every time frame. Sorry. 12, 11, 10. I switched through every time frame just so I could get an idea of what price is doing. I think I missed one here. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's doing pretty much what it is on the daily. It's pushing up. On the 3 hour, on the daily, it's all the same thing. It's just moving up to a resistance area. So let's go to Euro USD and see what Euro USD is up to. Euro USD is on top of a resistance area. So Euro USD pushed down and now it's come up to a resistance area. And what does that mean for us? Well, is this a good resistance area is the first question. Bounce there, bounce there, bounce here, bounce here, bounce there, bounce there, kinda. So yeah, pretty good resistance area, I would say. It's been tested a lot recently. That could mean that it might break soon, but it could also mean that it's going to lead to a pretty nice reversal trade. So let's just jump now because there's nothing really happening on the daily besides it hitting the resistance area. There's nothing screaming that price is going to reverse or that there's a trade set up here on the daily. So let's look if we're getting signs that buyers are slowing down on the lower time frames. We're not really. Maybe a little bit on the 8 hour, but yeah, maybe on the 4 hour, just a tiny bit. But yeah, it's way too early to say. I mean, when I see a candle like this, okay, on the 8 hour, when I see a candle like this forming on an area of resistance, I start to think possibly price is struggling here. We might get a reversal. Buyers have not been able to make a new high. Well, they have kind of, but barely. The new high is almost so insignificant. It's so insignificant that it's almost not even considered a new high. So yeah, it hasn't really been able to make a significant new high. The body is currently small. The candle's only been open for 30 minutes though, so this could drastically change. We don't know. But, you know, it's something to keep an eye on. We might get indecision forming here by the close of this candle, which would indicate that buyers are struggling to push through this area, which might indicate that a possible reversal is coming. We're already getting signs that buyers are struggling because price pushed up to here and then reversed right here. So clearly this area is providing a little bit of resistance. Is this resistance going to be enough to stop this bullish trend? We won't really know right now, but at the end of this candle, we'll have a much clearer idea. Or even over the next 4 to 6 hours, we'll have a much clearer idea. Because if price is stuck here without making a high beyond the one it's already made for the next 4 hours, that would suggest that buyers are slowing down at this resistance area. So let's see how that plays out. But there's nothing really tradable here at the moment. Let's look at USD CAD. It's made new lows. Yes. I'm happy to see USD CAD moving down into these areas because these areas are going to provide us with a much better opportunity to take a trade. These areas up here, now I've said this for the last like 5 or 6 analysis videos, but I'll say it again for the new people. These areas up here, they're support resistance areas placed based on data from like 2003 and even as far back as 1998. So I was very apprehensive about taking trades in these areas here, and I didn't take them because I wanted the support resistance areas to prove themselves today. I didn't want to rely on taking trades from support resistance areas from 1998. So yeah, I didn't take the trades. But now we're moving into areas that price has been at recently. So price has been down in these areas, you know, in 2015, the end of 2015 even. So that's very recent data. And we have quite a bit of data down here that will give us some nice support resistance areas. Something that I could trust more, something that I could actually trade from without the fear of price just completely ignoring it because it's from 1998. That being said, it doesn't look like there's anything happening right now. I am going to try place a support resistance area down here. This is just a rough support resistance area. And yeah, there's not going to be any history for it. So let's see what price does when it approaches this area, the 138.10. As you can see, I placed this in like, 3 seconds. So it might not be very accurate, but I just want to see what happens when price approaches this area because of this bounce here. Right? So clearly that was a pretty major bounce, and I would be surprised if price doesn't react here at all. So let's see what happens when price pushes down to this area, the 138.10. And let's switch time frame and jump down and see what price is doing. Yeah. So pretty much what it's doing on the daily, it's the same. It's just pushing down. Let's keep an eye on the 138.10 and see what happens. USD CHF. Nothing much going on here. Yeah, nothing going on. GBP/JPY. Let's get back to the 8 hour. Sorry, daily. We'll start with the daily. So pretty much what we discussed yesterday is sort of happening on GBP/JPY. Yesterday I mentioned GBP/JPY might be bouncing from this support area and pushing up. So it might be a continuation, much like GBP/USD. It looked like the same sort of thing. It would bounce from here and push up, and it looks like it's happening now. It's not something that I'm really willing to trade, but it looks like it's happening now. It looks like we're seeing a continuation. Across the board, all the time frames down to the 8-hour look like, yeah, even lower than that. Looks like it's just going to be a continuation from here, which is quite nice. This could even be seen as a reversal trade, but the preceding trend's a bit weak for my taste. Not something that I'm interested in trading, but yeah, we could be seeing a continuation here. First major barrier for this continuation would be around about here. So if you were to enter continuation trade, watch out for here. This is roughly the 174.50 level. It doubles as a psychological level, 174.50, and all the way up to the 175.00. So 175.00 is a major psychological level also. So just watch out in these areas. If you're planning on trading a continuation, watch out for price stalling around 174.50 through to 175.00, because it has stalled there recently. It's only on the 4-hour, but yeah, even on the 8-hour, it has stalled there recently. So watch out for that if you're looking to trade a continuation. New Zealand USD. Okay, I'm already going to move this to the top of my list next to GBP/USD. And it's quite obvious why. It's running into a resistance area, and it's a pretty good resistance area with some solid history. We have a bounce there, bounce there, bounce there, bounce here. So pretty good resistance area. It's running into it, the 66.50. Let's drop down time frames, see if anything is forming on it already. See if price is stalling. No, not really yet, but it has a huge potential for price to stall here. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. All right, AUD/USD. Nothing much going on here. Yeah, next, USD/JPY. This is still in a short trade from earlier this week, from the open of the week. Such an amazing short trade. There's a retrace from news. We talked about it in yesterday's analysis. I won't go over it again. Watch yesterday's analysis if you want a better explanation as to what happened with this trade. All right, one thing to note is it's running into a support area. Pretty strong support area. Pretty strong. Nice strong bounce there from the daily. So it's a pretty good support area. Price is running into the support area right now. And it's pretty much going back to pre-news levels. So yeah, I'm going to keep a close eye on this, see what happens. I mean, we might get some indecision forming here on this area. It's not happening yet, but we might see a bullish reversal. It's possible, so we're going to keep a close eye on this one. Finally, Euro/JPY, but there's nothing much happening here, is there? Nothing tradable anyway. Yeah, not interested in anything happening here. So let's review GBP/USD heading straight towards major resistance, straight towards it. That is looking pretty good. Let's go up to the daily. Yeah, heading towards major resistance. That's looking pretty good. We got New Zealand USD, which is right on top of major resistance right now, which is looking good. So keep a close eye on that one for the rest of the day. We got Euro/USD that's sitting on major resistance right now, which also looks pretty good. Keep an eye on that. And we got USD/JPY that's gone down to major support, so keep an eye on that. We could be seeing reversals on GBP/USD, New Zealand USD, Euro/USD, and USD/JPY. So yeah, keep a close eye on those four pairs for today. Thank you for watching the analysis. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up button on YouTube, because that always helps. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.